Hi everyone. All right, so today I'm going to be doing the video on who I think Negan killed with Lucille. I have three different options. The person I'm going to end off with is going to be the person who I think is most likely, and I'll give my reasons why as this kind of things continue. Then I'll be giving my third option first, then second, and then who I think is most likely. Going from third, I think third is Abraham. The reason why I think this is just because Negan's positioning. If you have the way he's facing towards the group, you have Glenn all the way over on the left, you have Eugene pretty much all the way over on the right, and you have everyone in the middle. Well, it seemed like he was more over towards the area where it was Glenn, Rosita, Daryl, Michonne, and Abraham. And the reason why I don't think that it's going to be Abraham, one, it seemed like he had, there were still people to the right, but he wasn't really looking over to the left at all. If you had people to your right and your left, you would look also to your left. He was primarily looking towards his right, which is making me seem that it's more over towards Glenn, Rosita, and Daryl. The other thing about this is in the Talking Dead after show, and I don't have the exact quote, but basically how Gimple is kind of doing this is this is the end of one storyline, and when they start season 7, it's going to be the very beginning of the next storyline, and everyone's going to be reeling and having to deal with the death of this major character, and kind of have to live and move on from there. Abraham wouldn't give that type of an impact quite yet, and I hate to say he's a great character, but unfortunately a death like his wouldn't give that big of an impact. So it's leading me to believe it's the next two different characters. My second choice on this one, which is second in running, is Daryl. The reason why I think that is because Daryl's been there since the very beginning. Yeah, he would have a very big impact on death-wise towards the entire group because he's been helping out. He's been there since the very beginning. He's been a great asset and a great help to the entire group, and everybody is pretty invested in him. I mean, when he left, suddenly 3 other major characters went off to go chase after him and to try to find out what's going on to possibly help him and also get him to bring him back. So yeah, he does have a great influence and a great pull, but there's one thing that kind of lacks in this entire situation, which is the fact of previously he was shot. And he was shot in the arm pretty much either the day or night before, or something along those lines. Maybe even that day, maybe. But from everything that it looks like, it was the day before. And the reason for this is because if we really look at maybe even that specific day, maybe. But between the time that he was captured and shot to the time that Negan's entire group kind of met up and everything, he had lost quite a bit of blood, and you could definitely see it in the robe that he was wearing, the blood that was coming down his body because of everything that had happened. So that leads me to believe that he had quite a bit of blood loss. Now, if he had been struck by the bat the first time in the state that he was, and you could see the way he was because they made him look pretty pale. If he had been struck by the bat once by Negan, he would have been out. And he would not have been able to stay awake after that, just due to blood loss and other circumstances that have happened, including being in a hot cage that they were, whatever they were in, for the period of time that they were. So Daryl, for that specific reason, that he could not be able to survive that, and also another thing that I'm going to do for the first person, I believe. I do not believe it's Daryl. Close in second, but I don't believe it's him. The person I actually do believe it is, and I'm going to go with a lot of other people, but I have specific reasoning for this. I believe it is Glenn. I'm not going to do this because of what happened in the comic books, because in the comic books it is Glenn. I'm doing this purely because of angles and other things that I'm noticing, and also because of things that I've seen. I don't have any special insight. I'm just noticing camera angles and everything. Now, the reason why I do believe it's Glenn, first and foremost, if he had got hit by a bat, he could very well survive one hit and get hit a few more times. He hadn't gotten hurt. He pretty much just surrendered, got taken down and was put into the machine, into the cage that the other people were, and he was able to put up a pretty good fight when trying to stop Negan from hitting Maggie with the bat. I mean, he just jumped forward, went right after Negan got taken down pretty fast, and he put up a good fight to get put back in place. So that's one reason why I do believe that actually could be him. When Negan kind of hit him the first time, just kind of go, oh, look at that, taking it like a champ. So yeah, that's one reason why I believe it's Glenn. The other thing about this is, if you look at the angle of the first-person view when you're looking at the camera, you notice that you look forward, you don't see the trailer whatsoever in that when you're looking at Negan. You're looking straight forward, you see forest. You do not see an RV anywhere in the background, even towards the right. So that leads me to believe that the angle that was Glenn's. And if you look at the way Glenn was, he didn't leap towards Negan and towards the RV. He was jumping towards Negan at a basically perpendicular, parallel angle towards the RV. Now, if you also look at this, if you're looking at Glenn's angle, not Glenn's angle, Daryl's angle, he's facing slightly towards the RV, so you can be able to see it somewhere within the shot. So where Negan was facing basically parallel to the RV. The RV would have been on his left-hand side, and the bat would have come down directly on Glenn. That's the reason why I'm thinking it is Glenn. Daryl wouldn't have been able to take one hit from the bat without getting knocked out due to blood loss and other things of that sort. Glenn would have been able to. The angle of the camera, which once again I'm just going to say this, there's no RV in the entire picture anywhere. It's just basically what's behind Negan, which is pretty much forest and other things like that. So yeah, I'm thinking it's Glenn, and for those reasons. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am in this one. And, him being killed with what Gimple said, and once again, not a direct quote, it would have, the characters would have, a major impact, and they would have to learn how to live and survive after this. Maggie being his wife, Maggie being pregnant, she would have to learn how to, she would have to, try to move on after the major upset of losing her husband, losing the father of her child, and everything. And Glenn has been such an intricate part of the group as well, in doing, going out on runs, trying to help out with Alexandria, with the entire group. So yeah, he would have that sort of an impact. So yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this entire thing. And if you enjoyed the video, please click like, please subscribe to my channel. Please leave comments or questions below on what you think, and y'all have a good day.